Look at the weather.
It's beautiful here.
Non-stop rain.
Oh, man, it is a blazer out there.
It's cold and it's shivery.
It is cold.
It's really coming down here.
I really enjoy your weather reports.
From the All Indiana Podcast Network, we're talking weather in a whole new way. From historical events to what's coming up, plus weather news, science, safety, fun facts, and more.
I like where this is going.
This is Weather Weekly. Weather Weekly with Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey.
It is episode 169 of Weather Weekly. Good to be with you here, meteorologist Marcus Bailey, as we open up a brand new month. Welcome to the month of April. Hopefully you enjoyed a beautiful Easter weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. I know we had a little bit of rain to contend with, but man, I got a ton of stuff done in the yard. Already got some mulch laid down. I had to do my first mow of the year. That might be you too. Definitely looking and feeling like spring a little bit. We may have to contend with that a little bit here as we go through the next couple of days here early on in this week with some severe storms. And we also have a pretty big snap in cold temperatures here coming our way from midweek. May have to deal with some freezing conditions for a couple of overnights. So we'll talk more about that in the week ahead. It is April 1st, 2024. That's coming up next here on Weather Weekly. All right, let's get down to it. Week ahead for April 1st, 2024. We will begin with April 1st, a Monday. Keeping an eye out for some thunderstorm development potential. Could be one of these days where it's an outbreak type of day across the mid sections of the country. Parts of northeast Texas, eastern Oklahoma, northwestern Arkansas, much of Missouri and southern Illinois under a moderate risk for severe weather, or a level 3 out of 5 for severe thunderstorms for Monday afternoon. All modes are in play, but it could include some large and long track tornadoes in that specific area. In central Indiana, we're at a level 2 out of 5 risk, a slight risk for severe storms. Main threats are going to be damaging winds and large hail, but can't rule out maybe a quick spin up of a tornado or two. Time frame will likely be after dinner time for much of central Indiana. We'll start to see some of these thunderstorms develop, and then that window of opportunity probably continues through around midnight, maybe even parts of the overnight hours for Monday into Monday night. 68 will be the high before the storms start riding in here. There's going to be kind of a big spread in temperatures because a warm front is just draped over our state. We may only see highs in the low 50s up around, say, northern Indiana, around South Bend, but you get closer to the Ohio River, it may be closer to 80 degrees, and then here in central Indiana, we're closer to 70 degrees. It's also going to play a factor in our forecast for Tuesday as well. More on that in a second. Overnight, Monday night heading into Tuesday, there may be some stronger wind gusts and maybe some hailstones with some of the storms after midnight, but really the thinking is heavy rain threat. All right. 1 to 2 inches of rainfall here over the next 24 to 36 hours. That's widespread across the state. And I wouldn't be shocked to maybe see a few areas that could exceed the 2-inch mark in terms of rainfall. So flooding potentially could be an issue. All right. Now, we'll have a low of around 50, and that's on the low end. Again, I mentioned the warm front playing a vital role. We may have to bump our numbers up for Tuesday the 2nd. I initially went in the lower 60s, but there's some hints now with some of the more recent trends that we're probably going to see numbers more so into the upper 60s to around 70. So very similar warmth to what we'll have for the first. And there's also a risk for some severe weather. Now, that trend has gone south, but we're seeing more recent trends trying to lift the severe weather threat to the north. So I think it would include central Indiana with a wind and hail threat. And again, an isolated tornado can't be ruled out, although I think that's going to be even on the lower end with a cold front that will march through the state by Tuesday afternoon. So rain chances really at any part of the day on Tuesday. It's not going to rain all day, but scattered showers and thunderstorm opportunities at any part of the day for your Tuesday with highs in the mid 60s. Now, following that, once we go into the midweek and the cold front moves through, we're going to have overnight lows dipping down to the mid 30s for Tuesday night. Wednesday, we will be lucky. This is on the 3rd. We will be lucky to make it out of the 30s. I've got a high of 42 I also have a chance for not only some scattered light showers, but some snowflakes mixing in. And far northern counties in Indiana may actually get a little dusting of snow. But I definitely can see some snow mixing in with rain for the midweek. Windy too, so it's going to make it feel quite raw. Thursday, again, another chilly rain with highs in the mid-40s. That's Thursday the 4th. We'll start to rebound a bit here. By Friday, it's still below average, but we're back up to around 50 and dry. I think the weekend looks pretty nice. Both Saturday and Sunday, we'll see sunshine with highs near 60, probably even to the mid-60s by Sunday. And then Monday, the 8th, is finally in view in the extended. That is Eclipse Day. I do have a slight chance for showers. All right. Doesn't look like there's a massive system that's coming in. It's still, at least time of this podcast recording, a week out. So things can change for the better or the worse. It also looks like we're going to be warm. We talked about that the trend was going to go like a little more to above average. I'm initially going with a high of 69 on Eclipse days. So if that holds true, that would be very pleasant to be outside. Hopefully we can just keep the cloud cover out of here. In case you were wanting, Weather Service to kind of put their initial predictions in and said percentage for 50% cloud cover for Monday the 8th is sitting at 60% right now. Now, okay, that doesn't mean it's going to be an overcast day. But it is a time period, if you look historically, that it's not a day that gets full blast sunshine more often than not. All right. So we'll see. We'll keep you updated as we get a little bit closer on social media and, of course, on our Storm Track 8 weather app as well. But get ready for a pretty active pattern here, especially over the coming days, midweek. And then we do start to quiet things down as we head into the weekend. We'll look a little beyond that forecast, do a quick recap, too, of the month of March as well. That's coming up next year on Weather Weekly. All right, real quick, look back at the month of March here. We did get about a quarter of an inch, not quite, on Easter Sunday. And that was mainly in the morning hours. It ends the month at 2.47, which is down an inch and a quarter. And since January 1st, we have 9 inches, 9.01. Officially, we are down a quarter of an inch of precipitation. So not in horrible shape. All right. 8 to 14 day outlook, strong signal for the eastern half of the United States for above average temperatures. And we're getting some pretty decent signals of above average precipitation in that time frame as well. That would be April 8th through the 14th. All right. So April, one of the more wet months that we typically get in the calendar season. So it's one of those where we can get a decent amount of rain through the year. Officially, April, we averaged 4.34 inches of rainfall. That is the third wettest statistically on record. The only other months that are the fourth wettest. The only other 3 months are in order. July, May, and June is the wettest month in the calendar year. We also average about 0.2 inches of snowfall. We can hopefully get by without having to deal with that. That would be wonderful news. All right, that'll do it for this week's podcast. Thank you so much for checking it out. If you have any comments, concerns, complaints, shoot me an email, marcus.bailey@wishtv.com. You can also hit me up on social media, Marcus Bailey Weather on Facebook and @Marcus Bailey on Twitter and X as well. I think it's Marcus Bailey Weather on TikTok as well. I don't do a whole lot there, but I do post some of my newscast videos there if you want to stay up to date on the forecast locally through that. You can also get our forecast 24 hours a day for free with our Storm Track 8 weather app and, of course, at wishtv.com/weather. And you can catch my forecast Monday through Friday on the TV side here locally in central Indiana on Wish TV's Daybreak starting at 4 a.m. While you're here, make sure to check out all the other great podcasts, all part of the All Indiana Podcast Network. Have a wonderful week. We'll talk to you soon, and God bless.
Discover more Discover more from Storm Track 8 Weather and Wish TV. Online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Plus, be sure to check out more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.